Hey YouTube, it's Chris Dyer here with the Martial Alchemy channel, and we are covering lessons 25 through 27 in the theory of French boxing. This is episode number 7 in this particular manual. Let's take a look at it. All right, so lesson number 25. We are going to stop a puncher with a front kick. Don't tell Mike, but he's about to get whacked. All right, so start with a left guard, in a right guard, so false guard. He's going to step forward and throw a punch. Poof. That's it. We like this one. How this is set up. So he's a left guard stance, I'm in a right guard stance. As he travels forward, I shift my weight into the back leg. I bring my lead leg right up into this position so that it's parallel with the floor. I actually typically would practice getting my knee up a little bit higher, but in the manual it says parallel to the floor, so at like a 90-degree bend at the hip. Then from there, snap the kick up as opposed to driving out. Again, I focus on more of a drive, but this is just, you know, details. So as he moves in, I bring the, I'll do it again. As he brings it in, I bring the leg up, I snap it up into midsection, folding him in half, stopping him in his tracks, basically. Again, I focus on kicking a little bit higher, and I'd probably drive through with my heel, so it looks something more along the lines of that, stopping his force as he moves in. But again, those are just like small details in personal preferences. The technique can be done if Mike decides to, and I've actually had this, have done this on a person. If he shoots in to do a grapple, you see the problem with this? Like, he should never shoot in from this range. If you know to grapple a striker, jumping forward, leading forward. Come on, Mike, lead forward with your face. Obviously, we'll stop him in his tracks as go super slow. I'm not going to break your face. As he, come on, commit to it. Boom. As he's bringing his face forward and getting close to my knee. I've actually had that happen. Someone ran right into the knee trying to shoot in and grapple. Not a good idea, and it'll stop him in his tracks. If he's moving really, really fast, like charging in, they say to do a small shift to an angle. So as he moves in, we reset. As I messed up on that one. As he, let's actually change directions to make it easier. As he steps in, I'm going to just move offline and then strike him at an angle. So there's some differences in how we do this one. And finally, there's an old school method for this one. So as he's stepping in, go slow with this one, I move off to the side and do more of an old man stomp that we've looked at before, where I'm hitting here with the foot angled out to the side. And he says that this isn't nearly as powerful and definitely doesn't stop the person in the tracks as opposed to a straight line kick. This makes absolutely perfect sense. So I've talked about before about how much I like this kick down to the knee because it is angled in the knee. If you hit it solid, if you hit it straight on, bend your knee. If I hit it here, he can absorb into that. But if it goes sideways, it's taking the knee and taking that patella and moving it offline, and that's done. Like, if you can knock that off the track, he's going down. I've actually had it happen before. It's not pleasant in any way, shape, or form. So that's good that it's angled out if it's going to a target like the knee where I want to hit it sideways. But going on a target that's moving straight forward, I want to do a straight line attack, which is going to stop him in his tracks. So this technique, very, very cool. There's lots of little things that you can do to change it up. And in fact, the manual says something along the lines of, you know, this needs to be done in the spur of the moment based on what this person gives you, the angle that they come in, how fast you do it, and all these little micro adjustments need to happen. But perfect technique. We use this type of thing all the time just to stop a person dead in their tracks. Let's take a look at number 26 next. Hi, this is Chris Dyer with the Martial Alchemy channel, and if you're enjoying this content, we have some great news. We now have a video for sale. The link is in the description below. It is titled The Old School Boxing Method of Self-Defense, and it's a compilation of our favorite techniques from our popular series, Old School Boxing. A link is in the description below. Now back to the content. All right, lesson number 26 is one of the more difficult ones to understand, given the fact that there's very little detail as far as who's in what stance or what's happening. All we know is that my opponent is going to step forward and throw a punch, and I do one of 4 different things. I'm riposting after switching my guard. So if we are in an open guard, Mike will step forward and throw his punch with the right, in which case I'm going to switch my guard, so I step back in this case, and I'm going to block with my new lead hand. First technique is kick to the ankle or to the shin. So let's practice that a couple times. He's going to step in. I'm going to move back. So I switch my guard. I throw up my parry, and there I'm here attacking to this position. Let's do that one more time. 1, 2. All right, so that's the first thing. We've talked about this, I think, in one of the previous other videos. My foot kicking his shin is going to hurt, especially if we're wearing shoes, which they would have been doing savate. But if I do this to the ankle at a side, so we're going to go super slow, is if I catch this as Mike is stepping in, this is a foot sweep, it was going to off balance him or shatter some of the small bones at the ankle. This can really, really damage a person. So that's one method. The next one is the exact same setup, only I'm going to kick higher to the ribs. So we're here, I step back, I switch my guard, and then I'm here and I blast him right here into the ribs. Same idea. And the next one is punch him in the face or chest. So again, he steps in, I step back, I'm here, I blast him through here, I blast him through here. And then finally, it is if I parry with my rear hand, I can punch with my lead hand. So if I, again, go ahead and take your guard, as I step to this position, if I block this direction, boom, I can follow up and strike this direction. He says that this one comes from English boxing, which is fun. So the type of things that we've seen before where I switch my guard, boom, and I follow up this direction. Doing that clearing block out this direction. It's more about body movement and throwing up a shield, basically, is the best way to describe this. Was I throw this up to defend and then would follow up in that position. Again, it's not entirely detailed in the manual, but these are kind of our best guess based on what's given. So if you read the manual and come up with another alternative, put it in comments below. I'm curious to hear. And let's take a look at number 27 next. This one's a lot of fun. All right, now number 27, we're going to have a throw. So throws are always fun. Everybody loves watching Mike get tossed. That's what we're here for. So set up for this, again, he's in a left guard. I'm going to be in a right guard stance, and we're going to need to switch sides a couple times so that you guys get the details. But we're here. He's going to step forward, and he's going to throw that strike down the center line. Reset. As he throws that strike, I'm going to need to adjust my foot. I want it to move to the side a little bit. I'm also going to dip down and slip his punch. So just without my hands doing anything else, I'm doing this position. Okay. Now, when I do that, I'm also going to need to close back in. So there's a lot of little micro movements and things that need to happen for this technique to work. 1, 2, I need to be getting in nice and tight. Now, you notice we're going for a throw. So I'm going to need to actually get behind this leg, and that's where the fun happens. Now, let's turn sideways. Now let's look at what the hands are doing, and then we'll work through the micro details about how this works. So as he moves, I'm going to throw my right hand across the arm like so. It's going to intercept and block. Now, you might be saying, what about this hand? Yes, this is a huge problem. I'm going to have to deal with that, and we'll get to that in just a second. But from this position, what I'm going to focus on from here is actually closing in. So if I'm too far away, which I am in this case, I need to gather this back leg to the lead leg and then slip it behind Mike's back leg, which is what we're going to throw him over. So let's slow this down a little bit. I'm going to slip this punch and then move back in. Now notice a couple things. One, as I move in, I'm still further away than I need to be so that you guys can see what's happening. But notice this, what I instinctually do is use the forearm to defend this thing. I can stop his attack if he were about to throw it with my elbow across this direction. I've slipped the punch, so I'm not necessarily needing to block it. What I need to do is stop this if it's coming back around this direction. So if I were to practice this, go super slow because I don't want to break Mike's face, is drive this into this position and notice through here. Now, he's getting attacked. I'm stopping this strike. I'm covering this. I've created this shield. And now this hand is free to do what it needs to do next. As I do this position, I'm a lot closer. It's a lot easier for me to get this leg back here using my body weight to off-balance Mike, which is the important bit. Go super slow again. We're here. I step in. I strike. As I'm moving down into this position, I'm going to grab at his leg. While I'm doing that, and I'm being very, very kind so that Mike doesn't have to eat too many falls, but as I'm going down, this is really important, just go ahead and take a big step forward so they can see. Lower your hands. This is crucial when you're doing these types of techniques, is as I'm going to grab this leg, what happens a lot of times is, if you notice what my body's doing, how I'm elongating this arm, if he were to resist this right now, just go ahead and crunch forward, I'm going to collapse my structure down. Notice I'm like collapsing through here. So the real challenge when it comes to these techniques, remember that gather the step, where I have to move behind. This is the most common thing that if you practice this and it doesn't work for you, this is what's happening, is my arm is collapsing in. Go ahead and resist. He's going to collapse my structure down. Whoa. So as I move into position, I want to continue to apply pressure. He says use your forearm across their chin or neck. Mike doesn't like that one bit. Smoosh him around this direction. As I move in, I continue to smoosh. And as I continue to smoosh, then I drop it down and take that leg. So go ahead, whole thing. We're here. One, I'm going to apply pressure, take that leg, and down he goes. And we're being, again, kind to Mike. But if I were to really apply pressure through here and open this up, we'll go super slow. I'm not going to do the whole thing because I don't want to wreck Mike. I need him for later. Continue to apply pressure. You can go inside or outside through here, and then I can use my legs, whoosh, and down he goes. So you want to make sure that you apply pressure the entire time as you do this technique. Never let up. I go through this with my students all the time. In fact, my students should recognize this posture. We use it in all of our Tai Chi forms and things like that. That's exactly what we're doing here. We're using this inside, cover, and then boom, throw, using pull of the leg and drive the person off balance this direction. Awesome technique. It's one of the ones that we use, like I said, in all of our forms and all of our techniques. We use this one on a daily basis. So I actually really like this technique. It's fun to see in this manual. If you guys like this stuff, make sure you like, subscribe, share, put your comments below on how these techniques work. If you have something similar like this in your system, I'd love to see it. Like I said, it's in our Tai Chi system, so it's kind of fun to see. Thanks guys, we'll see you next time.